Well, I'm still in the same parking spot. I'm at the Indiana Premier Outlet something mall. It's my same banana peel. Just holding up my phone. My drum song. Sunshine feels nice. I don't know what to do. Like, I want to write one more song, but I don't know. I don't have any more instruments to make up. Headrest song. Pidgey. Brian's still giving me bird names. I don't think it was Pidgey. Headrest song. I'm just seeing signs. I don't want to make it about these things. They're just like places, restaurants. Oh, I should have brought my long charger. This doesn't reach. It's on 10% battery. Okay. Ha! It reaches! Ha! 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really hard to make up a drum beat and keep it steady and think of the words at the same time. It's easier on a piano for some reason. When you go down to the places in your mind and you find the same complaints in this hemisphere of your brain, and you wonder if they're true or if they're just grooves in your brain. You keep sinking into what makes a groove. What makes a groove except the way you fall into the same old attitudes? Do they coddle you with their words and their fear of you being so mad all the time? I can't take you in my skin anymore, and I see you complaining, and all you see is what's wrong with the world. You don't see your part in it, your part in anything at all. Don't see your part in it. Do you see how you've been so small and unhelpful? Not all the time, but some of the time. Do you see how you've been so strange and sad and hard on those around you who love you? Who love you? guilt, I see their fear, I know you do too. Or maybe you are blind to anything but you. Lost in your mind, lost in your mind. This is how I think about wounds. I know it's true, I feel it's true. Oh, 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 what would you do if the world stopped to revolve around you? Do you have the answers? Do you have the answers for anyone but you? I don't mean to accuse, but I don't think you see. I don't think you see. I don't think you see this dynamic you're creating, that you carry like a weight, and I am just waiting for you to see your mistake, your place in this game. Well, I know what that's about, but you don't have to. That's another secret to songwriting or writing poetry or dreaming dreams that are creative, is you do not have to tell anyone what your song's about. You do not have to talk about any aspect of your creative life if you don't want to. And if people think that's weird or mysterious, then they don't realize that you talking about it would block it. So, in other words, I'm very passionate about writer's block. I think writer's block has a lot to do with control. I know it has to do with control. Like, you want to sound a certain way. You want to write songs about a certain topic. You don't want to use certain words because these words are judged, and this is uncool, and this is dumb, and this genre is bad, and this is that, and everybody's judging everything, and you've internalized all the judgment, and now you have writer's block. So you have to let go of what genre you'll sound like. You have to let go of what your voice will sound like. You have to let go of what your words you're going to choose. I mean, you can always edit later, but you have to let go, and write what you actually want to write. But you also have to let go of pleasing anyone ever. But really, you have to let go of, like, if people are like, oh, come on, tell me what that's about. Is that about me? Is that about this? Blah, blah, blah. Well, why are you so mad? Well, why is this? You have to, like, let go of a feeling that you owe anyone any explanation for your art, for your creativity, and that's not to be mean. It's the exact opposite. The point of art, the point of creativity is for you to have an outlet for all the stuff that you are absorbing and kindly not saying, kindly not vomiting all over other people, because literally the thing you're usually absorbing is other people vomiting their own opinions and thoughts and negativity all over spaces. So you're in those spaces and you hear someone complain, and you hear it, and then you see someone else coddle it, and then you see this, and then another person says that, and then you see a space get kind of like mildly toxic, or in some bad cases you see real toxicity, and you're absorbing it, you're pulling it into you, rather than saying, hey guys, stop it, this is dumb. Hey, quit being selfish. Just drop it. You're not being the voice of reason, and I don't know that you should be, because oftentimes toxic systems get worse, I think, long before they get better, or they never get better, and you just become a part of the, like, this idea of, like, learning to have a voice. It's like, no, you might have evolved a certain way inside of certain systems, and that peace kept the peace. But it's like, as an artist, as a creative person, it's important for you to realize that that's not who you are. That's who you are inside of one system. And you're in lots of systems. Everybody's in lots of systems. You might be in a work system. You might be in a job system, a relationship system. I said work and job, but whatever. Family systems, friend systems. So you're in all these different systems. If you are not paying attention, if you are unaware, you are accidentally maybe playing the same role in all the systems, just because maybe you were one way as a child and then you grew up and you thought you had to be that way because you thought that was you. But it's not maybe you. It might just be the role that you've historically played in a system because other roles weren't available. Or you're one of those people who's like really passive in one system and then you get so frustrated and you carry and bear all of that then you're really, toxic in other systems. Like we're all just like little electrons pinging, boom, boom, boom. I don't really know science. So my point is, if anyone ever asks you, what's that song about? What's that poem about? Why did you paint such a sad painting? Aren't you happy? We do blah, blah, blah for you. And I don't mean to imitate the sound of like a parent that's upset that you're unhappy. Like, even therapy sometimes doesn't make things better for kids. Sometimes it makes it worse because then they become really aware of how they feel about their role or their place in a system, but they don't have any power to do anything about it. They just have to keep bearing that system for a few more years or whatever. I've heard of that. Therapy can be just as hard as just blocking things out. Like sometimes dealing with it directly and head on at a time in your life when you don't have any power or agency is like almost harder. Can be more traumatic because then you're looking at it. You're like pulling the Band-Aid off to see if it's healed yet. Well, of course it's not healed. You're still in the system. So then you put the Band-Aid back on and it's like, well, why am I pulling this Band-Aid off? I just need to go get some autonomy and reflect on these things and have those conversations once I also am an equal member. No offense to families. Like, I don't have kids, so I'm never trying to be judgmental, but I released a lot of energy when I wrote that song and now I feel really weird. Yeah. There are people who are blind everywhere. I'm always blind to certain traits in myself. Everybody's blind. We're walking around blind. The wisest people are sitting quietly meditating, not writing loud or angry songs. Adding your voice to the chaos doesn't make the chaos calm down. But sometimes it just takes one simple comment of sometimes people don't know what role they're playing in the bouncing energy puzzle. So you don't have to say it often or loudly, but sometimes there is a moment and you'll feel it like an acupuncture needle. Boop. Just have to tell you this one thing. Boop. And you don't have to make a big deal out of it. You just have to, sometimes, if you're a person who holds back, mostly, if that's the main thing that you do, and that doesn't mean you're quiet. You might be the most loud, outgoing, friendly person, but you're holding back your criticisms of others, you're holding back your judgments of others, and you're holding back your need for anyone else to be different. You may want other people to be different for your own comfort, but you're holding back that. And instead, you're being different. You're changing for their comfort. And so the more people there are, this is essentially, I'm describing what an introvert is. Introverts are not quiet. It's not about being quiet. A lot of introverts talk a lot and spread a lot of positive energy when they're in spaces because that's a way to use up that anxiety energy that they feel being around people and being afraid to be themselves around people. It's not just fear, it's something else. Anyway, when you're in a space, are you the type to just boldly be yourself and expect others to deal with it? Or are you the type to be very careful to be what you sense others need? And they might tell you, there's a lot of verbal there's some untruths spreading around in modern society. I've met some really outgoing people who swear that all of these quiet people or these more held back people should speak up more. That's the modern trend, and I am 100% certain, because I've tested this, that those are the very same people that if you start doing it more, they will actually criticize you louder. Those people are so blind to themselves oftentimes that they don't even know that they need you as a piece of the energy puzzle. They need you to affirm them, to be positive, to not speak up if you dislike some of their ideas. You just have to keep helping be a support. Like if you just walked away and was like, I'm not interested in your story, or I'm not really into your thing, I don't really like that topic, if you just walked away, the amount of negativity and shame that they would feel, like they're so used to the world having affirmers in it. People who are introverts who go in public and give like a bowl. They go in public and they bowl for you. They hold a bowl for you so that you can tell them, I'm just going to go in a space and be myself and people just have to deal with it. Those people, they're the thing in the bowl. Those people are going in a space and saying, well, you just have to deal with it. But if your way of dealing with it was to remove the bowl, then suddenly they have a criticism of you. Because why aren't you there as a bowl for their natural self being the exact way they want to be? You can't really talk back to them and be like, no, wait, you be a bowl and listen to me. That doesn't work. No, wait, you be a bowl and let's talk about only things I'm interested in. No. Because they're just going to go into space and be rock. So you're either a paper bowl. Now I'm mixing this. Scissors doesn't do anything. You're either a bowl or you walk away. You can try to be a rock too, but then it's two rocks not listening to each other, and that doesn't work, and then they'll just have judgments against you. And if you're not naturally a rock, you'll just feel terrible. So if what you are is a bowl, someone who when you go in public spaces you want to support and uplift, and then you get in that space and you're like, why aren't they ever doing that for me? Well, because they decided. That's a character trait. They decided they're going to be themselves. The world is balance and give and take, and ideally it should be both. I don't know where scissors come in. Cut your bowl to the right size. I have no idea. But if anyone ever shames or judges you for being an introvert just means sometimes you don't want to stand in spaces where people are refusing to ever play the role of the bowl. These are roles. None of these are you. They're roles. So if someone has decided their role is to always be themselves, that's them saying, I will never be a yielding, supportive person who just listens to your things even if I don't like or agree with them or find them interesting. And I will never be that, where I just listen and let you be the thing that is themselves while I bend and change what I am for you. Those are roles to play. So to me, this is a red flag now. If somebody says I'm always going to be 100% myself, I'm like, you are an iron fist of trauma, because you have decided one overriding idea, I will always be myself, and now you're unyielding. That's like saying I will always force you to be the bowl. That's insanity, and that's not fair. And if you grew up in systems like that, or if you found them in college or childhood friendships, if you were in systems like that and you were always in this role of the bowl, then really what was happening is you were attracting people who weren't willing to find balance with you, who weren't willing to reciprocate, give and take. It does not have to do with number of words. Just always keep that in mind. I'm very chatty. Even in some friendships, I can be very dominating. And I have to be careful because I behave differently in some friendships than others. And sometimes it's because in so many relationships, if I'm this, then there's some that I don't have to be this and I overdo this. Balance is key, But it's almost impossible, so I'm not judging anyone for not knowing how to find it. It's very hard. Anyway, I'm just trying to help people wake up, help the world wake up, help everybody wake up, help us all wake up, help myself wake up. I make these to help myself wake up, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes I behave like such a deer in headlights. I don't even realize what mood I'm in, what things I'm absorbing, what ways I'm not being myself. I don't even realize sometimes until I make one of these videos. And almost every time I don't realize the topic of what's going on with me until I write a song. And then once I've written a song, then I'm like, oh, that's what I was thinking about or bearing. And then I'm like, oh, these feelings. So anyway, rambles. I'm gonna go. I get to spend all this lovely time with my boyfriend's family. I loved and the nicest, and it's so good there. I feel so much warmth and care and freedom to be myself, which is great. I hope you also find new systems and new families to plug into as you get older. I got very lucky with mine. Very, very lucky. And me and Brian have been together almost a little over 7 years now. It's a very magical relationship. All right, well, have a good day, Mike.